And then now I'm going to take the third case, which is S4 HANA. And we also have BW on HANA, which is going to be next topic. So in this next 10 to 12 sessions, we will talk about S4 HANA and BW on HANA. So what means S4 HANA and BW HANA is, it is not native, right? So S4 HANA and BW on HANA are not native to HANA database. We are not going to work deeply into the database or completely in the database. We're going to work as a mixed platform to access objects in ABAP layer and also build the objects or push down the code to the database layer. So that is pretty much we are going to do in S4 HANA and BW for HANA. So see, again I'm repeating, don't confuse that I'm going to work in Eclipse for S4 HANA. It doesn't mean that I'm working in database. So this is the very confusing thing for many developers. As soon as they see this Eclipse, they think that they are working on HANA, right? So you're not working on HANA directly database. You are working in HANA when you are working in one of these two perspectives, HANA development and HANA modeler. Okay, so this is ABAP, this is ABAP, and this is BW. Right, so these are ABAP stack systems, ADT, application development tools. You install it and then work on. So you are going to develop some models with respect to S4 HANA and BW HANA, and they are going to be tightly integrated or kind of a SQL based models which can be directly pushed down to HANA database. So if you work in this place still and write ABAP code, direct ABAP code, what you've traditionally been doing, it doesn't get pushed down to the database. Okay, but if you going to write some objects in this particular place or create some objects in this particular place with the new ABAP and HANA or BW HANA type objects, they are going to get pushed down to HANA database, and the total process is going to be run on HANA database. So you understand the difference between writing your creating your objects in Eclipse tool versus your ABAP system. In both cases, you are still working on ABAP layer only. You're not working on database layer. You will work on database layer when you are working on native data warehouse, which is directly you will have a database user. See, when I was doing my HANA developments here in the modeler, I have my database user. This is my database user. I cannot act, it is same in my case, but you may have a different database user, and I will have an application user is different. What I see in a ABAP application is user is different, and what I see in the database is different. I am now supplementing HANA properties with ABAP layer. So how I'm going to leverage the ABAP systems with respect to HANA database. Okay, so that is what S4 HANA and BW for HANA, because most of the customers, 95 of the customers, they definitely have to have these two systems, S4 HANA or BW for HANA in next few years. Native HANA is optional. As a sidecar, they can have it or they cannot have it, or they prefer to do some try and error. It depends on their strategy and etc. to get the big data warehouse in native data warehouse, but they don't have any choice when they're going to work on BW HANA, S4 HANA. The reason behind it is all the big clients will have ECC, then they definitely have to go to S4 HANA. All the big clients also will have BW system, and they will definitely go to BW on HANA. Most likely 80, whatever the project I have seen, all the big clients, they will definitely go with the S4 HANA and BW on HANA in the coming days and then future also. But with respect to that, they can also have something parallelly if it is an architecture decision to have a HANA database natively, or even they can have BW on HANA running and then they can use the database natively along with using the BW application, and also they can use, but SAP is not giving licenses very easily to do that HANA database as native and parallelly do BW application together. There are some licensing issues. They wanted to sell something out of it as a native, so they're just I don't want to get into the licensing issues, but it is possible that you will be able to do your BW on HANA system as a native data warehouse also, right? So when you connect to your database, you can connect to your data application as well. Okay, so understand the concept in very high level so that you will be able to take a right call. So S4 HANA and BW for HANA are going to be definitely the next generation applications, and it doesn't mean that you will only work on BW ABAP layer and S4 ABAP layer. In case if you may have to work on native HANA model also, if the clients they migrated to BW for HANA or S4 HANA, and they may also wanted to use the database as the native database along with the BW application or S4 application. It doesn't stop them if they have really power to overcome, challenge the SAP. So I would say three things will make you definitely a strong HANA performer, HANA overall performer. All the systems will definitely go to S4 HANA. There is no option for the customers to avoid S4 HANA. If not today, tomorrow or day after, whatever, whenever, maybe after 5 years, because they're going to stop ECC support in 5 to 6 years. I don't know when the exact timing. So ECC on any other database, they have to run in HANA database. For sure they have to run on HANA database. That is the plan, because after investing so much money, they cannot get out of SAP HANA. So definitely they will have to go with S4 HANA. And similarly, they invested so much money in BW system by having so much big consolidations, planning and consolidations, so many integration scenarios, everything they've spent a lot of money investment in BW HANA. Even though there is little improvements to BW system in terms of HANA, but they still cannot avoid BW on HANA also. So people who ever had the BW system, they will definitely migrate it to HANA. And people who have already having easy system, there is no option. They will definitely have to go to S4 HANA. I'm saying native data warehouse is still S4 HANA. You will still have the option to use the native data warehouse if they wanted to do. But doesn't, here you also have the database, right? So even though your application is S4 HANA, you still have the database, and you can go to the data. If you wanted to do some developments directly in database, you can request the architect to propose something in your database to create your schema and your user, and then build calculation views on there in S4 system also, which is your native data warehouse, which is your native HANA. So I don't know why you can get confused. There is no such thing native HANA, S4 HANA, or BW. It's all mixed up. Native HANA is everywhere. Whatever you do directly in database is called native HANA, directly in the database. Whatever you do with respect to application, it is called S4 HANA if you're doing in a ECC or S4. If you're doing the same ADSOs, composite providers and open ADSOs, you that called as BW on HANA. If you build a ABAP database managed procedures and CDS views, then it is called S4 HANA. Because these are the objects they gave in S4 application to optimize or to push down the code to database. So those are given in ABAP layer only, just to make you comfortable in ABAP layer, and directly don't work in, because there are so many issues we're going to see, because security is a big problem when you are working directly in database. So ECC security is huge, S4 security is huge, there are going to be hundreds of users. You cannot create them directly in the database, right? So you still have to use your ABAP layered security mechanism to provide them access to those models, and in turn those models are automatically pushed down to HANA database. Even though you create CDS views in ABAP layer, they are directly pushed down to calculation view. Similarly, even though you create ADSO in BW layer, which is automatically pushed down, whatever you run in the BW ADSO, it is going to run in the database directly. That means ADSO creation, we're internally going to create a stored procedure. That's what I'm saying. It before, when you create a classical DSO, it is going to create an ABAP object, which is going to be your a class or ABAP report program. Now with the ABAP BW on HANA object, when you create a DSO, it is going to create a store procedure in database. So, or a column view in a stored procedure. So it is going to run in HANA database when you run some loads in on these objects. Similarly, as for HANA, when you're working on the CDS views or ADMP procedures, they are going to be created inside as a stored procedures of HANA database, and they're going to run very faster because of the database push down. Let's say you wanted to do operational reporting or real-time reporting with the full performance available in your transaction system itself. Then you go with S4HANA. Instead of pulling this data into BW system and then overnight load and BW will do some more transformation. This is all full big process which will run for a day, and then next day you will see the data, which some customers, some reports cannot be waited for that. So they will go for S4 analytics. So S4 analytics, these are the use cases. You don't have a BW system. You wanted to build real-time data reporting in S4 itself. As soon as transaction posted, you will see that in the report, which is your pretty much, and you wanted to save the cost of avoiding some big data, big data warehousing system. These are all the different reasons for getting the S4 license, S4, S4 analytics. Whatever your reasons could be, but we will understand what we are going to do. I told you that the reasons, again I'm repeating. You don't want to have a license for BW system, which is a big system. Your maintenance, you don't have a need for it. Your requirement is an operational reporting. You can do real-time reporting immediately, as soon as you don't wait until the load is completed. Real-time, as soon as data is posted, you'll be able to report on it. And you have the flexible VDM, virtual data model, in the CDS view form, which means you got controlling line items. You don't need to have a data source and create a data source, replicate it, or and then transfer the data into BW. No required. They created a similar structure which is with similar to your data source using CDS view. That's what we're going to see. I'm going to show you GL line extractor built using CDS view. So if I am able to build everything in CDS view in S4, then why should I import this to BW and then load it every night? There is always for one argument, one appeal, you will argue in this way, because it just depending on the customer requirements. So you can argue another way as a BW consultant, saying that if it is a robust system and you wanted to consolidated so much data, not only from S4 system but also from other systems, Oracle and etc. And you got complex transformations which cannot be run using the regular HANA database, and you wanted a proper scheduling tool like process chains to handle all your business logics in a very effective way. Modeling, proper modeling, all these are use cases for BW where you argue in that side. Strategic reporting, and your requirements are different for that particular argument. So how do you win the argument? You don't win an argument. Both are equal cases. Solution architect will see both pros and cons from both sides and will take the decision to implement the requirements of the project and also the company's roadmap. So S4 system is going to be something like this. You will have a database, okay, and you're going to have an ABAP application, and which means this is my S4 system. You don't see any difference. Whatever you see in um, you know, before, you're going to see the same thing in even after moving to S4 also. It's going to be just exactly an SAP system. So you can create your SE38 programs, SE37 function modules, SE24 classes, SE18 baddies, all exactly same as it is before, as they are before. No change. Clear? So don't expect something big happening with S4HANA. Still ABAP consultants are doing the same thing what they were doing before in terms of ABAP stack. Okay. Yeah. This is sales orders. The GUI changed not because of S4 HANA. So this GUI changed just because of GUI, latest GUI I'm using. If I'm using old GUI, I would have seen the same layout. So don't think this is the GUI of SAP S4 HANA. It is just the GUI, latest GUI. I got it. So SE80, you will have packages, you will have, everything is same. Above workbench, you got it right. And you also have SE11, everything is same. I don't spend anything there. So that's pretty much backend for S4 HANA, sorry, S4 system. And S4 HANA is, this system is going to be installed on HANA database. It is installed on HANA database. So how do I see S4? I did not have the system added. I can add this system here. So what I see in ABAP layer, I'm accessing the same system here. Whatever I see there, I can see all the packages from the ABAP system in here in this plan. That means I'm in ABAP system. Typically, I'm in ABAP system. These are the packages which I see in the ABAP layer. Okay. And what is going to be in the database? I cannot see from the ABAP layer. I have to log into database and then provide the database server and instance details. Then I will be able to see the data. Generally, for S4 HANA consultants, ABAP consultant, they don't give the database user ID. A different client. So it is going to ask me to connect to that particular ABAP system, my client. You see, you don't have a client in HANA when you are logging into HANA because it's an ABAP system. So I will log into this one. It's done. This is one client and I'm using another client. So TMP, $TMP, you can see from this one that I'm in ABAP system. But I'm using Eclipse to connect to my ABAP system because I'm going to build some of the S4 HANA related objects which I cannot build in my GUI using my old GUI, because SAP preferring to provide that option in the Eclipse based tools, because these are the Eclipse based tools and which can be very good for creating those kind of objects because they are very tightly integrated with the database application. Not your GUI is not tightly integrated with your database. Yeah. If you still wanted to do your ABAP program, BW objects, whatever you are doing it for the last 20 years, you are good to do, but it is doesn't make any sense unless you learn these new development objects, which are you can call ABAP and HANA or S4 HANA technical objects. So yeah, that is about this one. So we're going to do some CDS tables, views, and AMDPs. And also we also see some embedded BW and BPC models. What we have it in. This is not BW model. CDS is directly in native, not native, ABAP on HANA, and an embedded BW is given for embedded analytics. So we see S4 analytics plus S4 embedded analytics. There are two things. So we're going to see them in next 5 sessions. And then you got Fiori applications. Front end. I have some problem with my link. I will show you tomorrow when we get to the demo Fiori application, and as soon as I log into my Fiori application, I will be able to see all the tiles, and then those tiles are configured using UI5 language, SAP UI5, and then we use OData service as a connection. It's a protocol. I don't know how much you know about APIs, web services, SOAP protocol. That's a big topic. I'll give you a simple document. I'm going to put it in there. You read it. It's very useful because from SAP background, you don't understand what is API, what is HTTP protocol, what is SFTP, what is REST services. But it is very important when you're working on recent releases of HANA. So HTTP protocol, API, what is API, and what are the different types of HTTP, SOAP and REST. So far people have been using SOAP, but recently everything is REST web services. because the rest is XML, it can support XML and JSON, both formats supported. It's all too much technical, but if you read it and able to get something out of it, it is going to be very useful, because you're going to have OData connection, because that is the REST web services, to establish your database model and your client, which is your Fiori Wi-Fi. You need a bridge, right? So far, how are you doing? I don't know. Maybe ABAP gateway, RFC, or WebDyn Pro, Enterprise Portal. All these are the so far called front-end applications. How you are interacting with your front-end is your general gateway. XI people will work on XML files to transfer exchange the data from one layer to another layer, and somebody outsider is asking, they will provide it. Okay, so I've given simple example. So this is your HANA database, and you got S4 modules here, simple finance, simple logistics, and you have a NetWeaver gateway to connect to Fiori. This is the current situation, all the people using this one. And if you are completely using native, then you bypass the NetWeaver gateway and use OData direct gateway. So either you use SAP NetWeaver gateway or OData for OData, or you use OData API if you're directly using, but this is not applicable to you, because you're not going to work on native HANA application development. So unmark it. Only you will be working on NetWeaver gateway. See, I was talking about database. This is done. And then I'm talking about application, which is this one. And after you build the model, you have to connect to Fiori or UI5, which is your front-end application, because it has to provide the information to front-end, right? So the bridge is going to be created with NetWeaver gateway. This is a huge topic again. Most of the ABAPers going to be working on this gateway. So since we are analytic team, so I'm saying we will bypass this gateway, because that is not my S4 HANA full course. If it is a S4 HANA full course, they will go with this route to OData service and Fiori applications, but I'm going in a different route to this one, business objects, because I'm not going to build a Fiori application in this session. My objective is not that one. But if you're a full-fledged ABAP and a HANA consultant and a S4 consultant, you will work on this ABAP gateway, OData gateway, OData service, ABAP gateway, and then connect to the Fiori application. Okay, but I am going to connect my CDS views directly to my analytics. That is my job that I'm going to work on only S4 analytics with respect to external business objects application, or O analysis and OData application, which are also directly going to consume them. Okay, that's the landscape of what I'm going to cover. Yeah. Yeah, CDS view exists in HANA is different. So you don't get confused with CDS view what exists in HANA, native HANA, and CDS view exists in ABAP on HANA. So there is a huge difference between those two. I can, if you wanted to understand, I give you a thread, CDS view, HANA native CDS view, and ABAP CDS view. Srikant. There is one blog which explains in detail the difference between them, and there is one question and answer. So you just read these two, you will be able to get good understanding of what. So here this guy Lars explained in very detail to my question, so you will get some good understanding on the difference between HANA CDS views. The question heading is different, but in depth understanding is that I was asking what should we use HANA versus this one. So this is a very simple answer, you will get it. And then I also have a blog which explains something else, some other topic, but it also covers about the about what exactly it means in this one. Yeah, so there is an answer. Yeah, I think for now I understand that there are two different ones. One is for analytics purpose, this one currently, and what is in native HANA is not for analytics purpose. You don't really create analytics purpose. You will use um, see, calculation views for analytics purpose in native case. See, in the database, you will also have CDS views. We haven't seen that, but we will. I'll show you. I already have shown in the web ID for HANA blogs, which are published in the YouTube. So that is also explained in this document, which I have shown you in this blog, graphical editor CDS view, which is in the database. So this is not for analytics purpose. SAP is not suggesting to use the CDS views for analytics purpose. You're saying still use it for persistence, and then on those CDS views still you build calculation views if you are going to do the reporting on it. So for reporting in native HANA, always calculation views are going to be your data sources, right? For reporting on native HANA, your calculation views are going to be your data sources. For reporting on S4 HANA, you're going to use CDS views as your data sources. Clear? So you also have CDS views in native HANA, but you don't use it for as a data sources for native HANA. That's pretty much, if you understand it, that's pretty much you're good with. I don't know why they are saying, because you can also do what is calculation view can do in CDS view with complex logic, but SAP is still saying it is more optimized to have calculation views for analytics. So go with that. So if you want more details, yes, as I said, put this topic and put name. A very nice explanation, not given by me, but a good moderator from SAP. So I haven't got any good information in the content, so I had to post this entry in forums. Yeah, these are the valid questions which I've been through already, and then I have you. If mostly I would have it on my name, so probably you can check with the name. It will directly point to the particular blog. Every topic of S4 and not BW. I haven't spent much time on BW on HANA, but native HANA and S4 HANA. Mostly I will have some of the generally coming questions posted. And posted means asked or getting answers there. Okay, yeah, so where was I? Yeah, let me go into the details. Core data services. So this is a very simple document I'm going to show you. I really don't want to get into the documents, but I wanted to show you this document. This is a ASUZ presentation. I don't know where you heard about it. Usually they give in tickets. Okay, it is 61 pages document, but it is explains very well about the topic. I had so much confusion. Don't go with anybody's theory YouTube channel. No, it is the proper very high level document. So they're going to explain these guys. These guys explain very high level, and then you understand the topic. So what is the impacts of SAP HANA? We already talked about in the initial session, right? Row and column, in-memory, high data compression. You all know it. Multi-tier architecture, multi-core architecture. No aggregates, less this is all what we initially talked. Then we also talked about this paradigm. Data to code is the new paradigm, not to code to data. Initially SAP was saying to do this one, write everything in application. Now they're saying push down everything to database. You know it. Okay, so this is the building block for core data services. You see that? Your database HANA and my core data service is going to exist. All my views are going to exist here. And then my application layer, which could be ABAP, which in case of ABAP, it is S4 HANA. If it is Access, it is going to be native HANA. Yeah, core data services for native HANA. And then UI abstraction is um, your OData service, and then clients are your UI5 or Fairy and UI5. Yeah, it is available in 7.4, 7. NetFever. I'm saying NetFever, right? You know it about NetFever. So S4 HANA development system has given 6,359 as part of 1504 release. So it was very old. In 1702, there are more than them. So I'll show you how do I check these serious views. And number of associations are like joins. 8,005. You can reuse those joins. See, generally when you're working in SQL, you can only perform the join, but you cannot reuse that join in anywhere else. But if you build an association, which is kind of a join, then you can reuse that association in further views. That's the difference between a join and association, but both does the same thing. And then huge lines of code already given. This is like a HANA Live. They used to give HANA Live and they stopped HANA Live. So I don't know why they stopped HANA Live. So which means as soon as they stopped HANA Live, that means they already removed the sidecar implementation. There is no real importance of sidecar implementation, right? If you have HANA Live, then you will get the calculation views ready-madely given by HANA Live, and then start building your business objects application and reporting in it. But they have HANA Live, you can still use, but they're not upgrading it from the last 2 to 3 years. They created a virtual data model in ABAP layer on ECC on HANA. It could be ECC on HANA. They replaced it with CDS. CDS views. HANA Live is replaced with CDS, not replace, yeah, completely replaced. They're not really building FIGL extractor in calculation views. They used to do it, but they changed the mechanism to build GL extractor, a GL type of extractor model, cost center, logistic, everything in CDS views now going forward. So there is no point in working on HANA Live, which is completely native in the database. They're gone back to ABAP layer again. Understand or confused? Okay, anyway, whatever. So they said directly do the calculation views in database house in the database, and then immediately they changed. Okay, if you are having a ABAP layer, try to uh, leverage the ABAP layer using CDS view. Initially they said even though you have ABAP layer in ECC and HANA, don't use any ABAP layer, directly build HANA Live in the database and get reporting out of it. And then later immediately they said, okay, uh, you still use database ABAP, you don't need to use the database layer. You don't have, in order to access HANA Live, you must be a database user. Clear? But in order to access CDS view, you can be an ABAP user. As an ABAP user, you can be logging into ABAP system in Eclipse tool and then build CDS views, which will have a same impact or performance benefit of what HANA Live gives you. So that is the concept it got introduced. Understand or confused? Anyway, so that is about CDS views. Going forward, it is going to be CDS views. So this is a very good question. Can't be everything be done in with SQL? Do you know the answer? That's where CDS views. We were doing in SQL, right? HANA Live is SQL. So HANA Live HANA Live means it is calculation views, graphical calculation views, right? They are SQL based. So why CDS? Can't everything be done in with SQL? In principle, yes. But what? Let's take this in a simple scenario where I wanted to get the name and ID, name and respective zip code of the home address for all the employees in organization. So how do you do that? You write a simple select, not a simple select, a kind of a select like this. Do some left outer joins and then get the required information. That is the implementation level. Okay. This is your conceptual, this is your task, and this is what it end up when you conceptual implemented your idea using SQL. Okay. So do you see any gap between what conceptually you're written and what exactly you're writing in SQL? Yes, right? So you see left outer join and left outer join. It is not simple as what you write there. Okay, there is a gap. So that is the gap in general SQL, not in HANA SQL. This is anywhere, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, and etc. So they introduce CDS. See, this is also again another example. Due to the complexity of developers are using code instead of SQL. See, if you are a really good SQL developer, you may do it in a different way, but most of the times you will do this complex uh, SQL when for your requirement, isn't it? I will do the same thing. I don't know about others, but I will do the same thing. Use the loops to simplify it, because I'm not an SQL developer or kind of. I will see that as a programming language, or as a programmer you will do the loop like an ABAP programmer or any of the other programmer. You will loop through the internal table and process record by record and etc., which is like not a good thing for your requirement. Your requirement might be simple, but if you write it in the code, it's getting bigger. Okay, so CDS brings your conceptual and implementation level closer together. That's the uh, exact requirement and definition for CDS. I didn't get anywhere in the SAP world except this particular document. That's what I'm saying. This is very nice document. I will you will can follow. So you will see CDS is people say CDS, but what is CDS? What brings SAP to take this decision is this one. So understand why it has taken this decision. So what you write here is going to be exactly implemented in CDS, something like this. So implementation level, one line, conceptual, one line. So that means there is a serious syntax which is making this happen just like your conceptual idea. So we're going to see the several syntaxes of CDS, and then you will come back and see, okay, oh, this is what CDS is bringing me. So CDS is an open SQL, not SQL again. I'm saying it is not an SQL. It is an it's an SQL, open SQL, but it brings the syntax is going to bring your conceptual level implementation in conceptual level task into your implementation level task by the script what it provides you. With a lot of annotations, associations, and etc. We're going to see them in detail. But as a summary, understand that this is bringing your conceptual level into your code, so that small semantic gap, no coding, not much coding required. You may again say that, okay, I'm not doing any coding in graphical calculation view, so that is much easier. For CDS, I have to write the code. That is a foolish assumption people will always say. That I've seen many places. See, you are able to do it with a graphical calculation editor because there is a graphical calculation editor, but indirectly there is an SQL generated in the background screen. If you don't have a graphical editor for calculation view, probably would have ended up in writing all the big SQL in the background like this, like scripted calculation view. But right now, CDS above CDS doesn't have a graphical CDS view, graphical CDS editor. You have to write it code. It is little difficult compared with graphical CDS view because you're going to write every code in there. But once the graphical editor is available for CDS also in above CDS, it is already there in HANA CDS for your information. That's what the blog about. And maybe in a year it may come for this one as well. Then you will feel this is much simpler than the calculation view. Until then you will feel that CDS is complex, but don't compare graphical calculation with CDS script editor. Compare your calculation view with scripted one with CDS. That's what once you get the graphical CDS editor, then compare with calculation view, not now, in terms of implementation. So many of the things wrongly interpreted. So, but SAP's strategy is very good to do this one. They invest a lot of money in there. Okay, so far I think you follow. It's very important because S4 is going to be the real big thing in the future. It is unavoidable. S4 cannot be avoidable. B4, yes, BW, some clients, they may go for native data warehouse, but S4, it is definitely 100% required, and this is definitely going to be the future for any client. So you got to see the any supported DB, and Sirius is not only for ABAP, for HANA, it can work on any other language also, any other DB also. Okay, and it goes to the details. We're going to see these views building. Yeah. We have all the functions. We will see all the built-in expressions for the Sirius built-in expression, date, time. We have already seen these functions in SQL. I don't know if you remember it or not, but we're going to see them again in Sirius. We're not going to see them in all of the detail. You can see that concatenation, left, right, length, LPAD, trim, replace, arithmetic, date and function, days between, add days, add month. 99% exactly same as your SQL function, isn't it? Currency conversion you can do here um, with script now, but you had a function. You remember when we're doing? So similarly, how did you do it in a currency conversion? Here you can also see the code push down. Yeah, this is all the different examples, associations as reusable, really, but very nice document. Once you completed the session, you will come back and see how they given annotations every one line for each and every. This is the gateway, and that's the summary. 60-page document, but very in-depth knowledge. It gives very detailed knowledge about it. Okay. Yeah, and then that's about the background. This is about the APIs, and this is about the course topic, core data services. If you want technical details of S4 analytics, you may go through this document, but I'm not going to this. I mean installation. These are the configuration guides, S4 HANA 17.0, very useful, but it is these two documents. I'm going to update them, and it's up to you. And this is the ABAP programming for HANA course book, HA 400. So you will see details on Sirius and also ABAP managed database processes, two things. And you don't need to get into these details when you are doing it now. For practice, just practice only the examples I'm showing you. When you get into the project, then you may be able to work on them. So that's the script. So I've taken several examples, just like how did I do in the initial scripting. So we're going to see these examples. I have got more. We'll see each example and how we're going to work in there. And also lastly, we're going to follow some links here. This is the document, Word document I'm bringing in. There's some information here. See, this is the virtual model, which is your consumption, basic, consumption, and then intermediate. So basic views will be directly hitting the database table. Intermediate or interface views going to be in between to combine several views, and then consumption views are going to be your analytical. These views will be used for business reporting analytical purpose. So we will see all these three different views in our video. This is called virtual data model. You had virtual data model in HANA Live before with calculation views. Now we have a virtual data model with CDS views. Step-by-step documentation, annotation documentation. There are so much exercise with examples on my notepad. And yeah, there is a whole bunch of links which I'm putting in here, but you don't need to go in there until you get some good understanding, until you get a project to work on there. This is all the information required for you. I'm going to put it in and there. And then if you have some time, just there is a simple webinar uh, explains what CDS view and different formats of CDS view with how they are interacted with ABAP layer. It gives pretty much good understanding. Watch it for 5 minutes, initial 5 minutes, this YouTube link, which is going to be the background, what gives for HANA. But if you have time, you can watch this full video. It's up to you, but not now. Let me go through all the sessions in the next 5 days. Then we're going to see that. And coming back to your system here, you got your all the local objects created. I'm going to create all my local objects in this one. I have some core data services creating here, and then I'll build all my examples in this particular place. Going to be data definitions, and you also can create a data dictionary, which is your S11 data dictionary for tables and etc. So this is all what I'm going to build as a customization. What SAP has given, you get to see these are all your packages of system, right? So if you go for look for APPL, you can see that APPL, structured package for logistics accounting, which is a big S4 HANA content. Every package has got hues, so you will be able to see APP. There are a bunch for warehouse management, sales and distribution. Every package has its own thing. APPL fin. Let me pull in APPL. Logistics you can pull. Mass data you can pull in. I'm opening logistics fin. So I got financial accounting system, financial information system. Let me open financial information system. I got APAR. I got all these controlling ones. Let me open FICO. So I got 489 core data services views. If I do the data definition, I can see 430 are views and 59 for access control for security purpose. And dictionary objects are from your ABAP layer. So data definition, the view can start with either E, I, or E, I, and C. I is intermediate, and then finally C is consuming view. So this is standard content what they have given. You just need to understand how the content is given. How do you understand the content? You build a similar object on your own, then you will be able to understand the content and then customize the content according to your requirement. So this is how it looks like with annotations and then associations and the code there. This is very simple one. You may be seeing complex ones. So once you build all these annotations one by one manually, then you will understand what is these annotations for, and then you will see what is these associations for, and what you will see what the final fields are for. 3 sections: view level annotations, associations to join on the several tables, or views. Right, these are views. I can join either a view or table. I mean, this is another calculation. Another serious view. I can join, and after joining, I'll be able to represent the joined fields from the joined views. And I will also I'll also provide some annotations with respect to field level syntax. So these 3 sections we're going to see, and then you will understand. And one view will be used in another view. Initial views will hit the database table in order to associate. Since it is an intermediate view, it will hit the another intermediate view as a join. And then finally my calculation view is going to hit this particular intermediate view. And then that reporting application will hit that particular final serious view as a data source to it. That's about the introduction to Sirius and the models. We will see in detail. We'll create by from scratch. Um, come with several CDS models and then see how those going to be consumed in analysis for Office. I don't need to go into Design Studio, but I'll try to get into Web Design Studio, but I'll mostly use the analysis for Office for this session. Okay, thank you. I'm going to stop this session now.